sorry, just catching up on my beauty rest. Welcome back to What the Fairytale. I hope you're all as excited for today's episode as I am. We'll be looking into the story of Sleeping Beauty. Now let's see what people remember.
On the day Sleeping Beauty was born, there's 3 fairies that come and they grant her blessings.
One of the witches wasn't invited, gave her a curse instead, that on her 16th birthday, she would prick her finger and she would die.
But her other 3 fairies that were invited instead weakened the curse.
Instead of dying, you'll fall into a deep sleep.
If she gets kissed by her true love after she fell asleep, then she would be awakened once more. The day of her 16th birthday,
She actually pricked her finger on a needle.
She falls asleep.
The witch turned into a huge dragon.
Prince Charming comes.
He and his valiant horse.
he ends up fighting off a dragon that was the evil fairy.
And they live happily freaking ever after.
That was a lovely story, wasn't it? But I'm sure you're all curious about what the earlier version said, right? Written by the Italian author Giambattista Basile in 1634, this version of Sleeping Beauty was called Sun, Moon, and Talia. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? In this version, Sleeping Beauty's name is Talia. The superstitious king, scared for his daughter, orders all of the flax and hemp to be removed from the castle. Regardless of her father's efforts, she gets a splinter of flax in her fingernail, and, true to the fortune teller's predictions, she falls over unconscious. Flax. Noun. A piece of a plant small enough that it is able to get into your fingernail. The king, once he finds her, decides to walk her away and abandon the castle. My daughter's dead! Oh well, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. One day, another king, who is married, wanders into the empty castle and finds Talia sleeping. He is so taken with her that he decides to cohabit with her. Oh yeah. Cohabit, verb, the act of usually a man and woman living together and doing the deed and pretending to be married without marriage benefits. See, living in sin. And after that, he leaves her. 9 months later, she gives birth to 2 children while sleeping. Gosh, if only childbirth was that easy for everyone. The children try to nurse from her, but one of them accidentally sucks her finger. The flaxseed that was stuck in her fingernail is dislodged and she wakes up to the reality that she was raped and is now a mother of 2 children. The king eventually remembers about his adventure in the empty castle and goes to see Talia. Adventure. Now, something that is most likely a very, very bad idea, but it sounds exciting, so one tries it anyway. He is happy to see Talia awake with 2 children. On the other hand, the king's wife finds out about his love children and orders them to be cooked for her husband to eat. Out of pity, the cook replaces the children with goats for the king to eat instead. His wife also orders for Talia to be thrown in the fire, but the king magically shows up at the last minute and saves the day. He kills his wife and lives happily ever after with Talia and their 2 children. The end. Now let's see what people have to say about this story.
How did she even give birth? She's like asleep. I feel so bad for her.
Ew, that's gross.
No!
I don't understand.
Eating your own children. Children will get scared by that because they'll be afraid that someone will end up cooking them.
Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to tell your children about this wonderful story. Bye now.